All right, welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we are reviewing the amazing movie Knives Out.
Or is it?
Or is it?
It is. Come on.
You know.
If you've seen this movie.
If you've seen this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, Chris Evans is in it.
Definitely check it out. He's in a sweater. You'll love it.
Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sorry. You're doing the cast, not me.
If you like movies, if you love a whodunit,
ooh,
come on.
It's a classic whodunit.
Because the movie's pretty upfront with who did it until it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. It. They take a couple twists and turns.
Yeah, there's some twisty twists.
Facts.
It's good, and I like it.
Yeah, I was thinking that I'm trying to think about the first time I watched it. First off, I loved it. Secondly,
same.
I was like, if anyone tells me they figured it out, fuck you.
Right.
Because there's no way. There's no way.
I mean, yeah, because it seems like it's pretty clear. At one point, it's like, here's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And here's how they think they're handling it. And at the end of the movie, you're like, no.
None of that.
That is not what happened.
None of that is, yeah.
That is not what happened. And then here's another slight twist just for the fun of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a little. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love a whodunit, man. Like we were talking during the movie, like this, The Usual Suspects. That's another whodunit that I think you should watch. I know you said you've never seen it. Great movie. Clue, great movie. Oh,
I love.
We should review that. We never watched it together.
I'd be down.
Yeah, Clue's great,
dude.
I've seen it. You've seen it.
It's got Gene Parmesan in it.
It has Tim Curry.
Mm-hmm.
A little action, a little Grinch action.
It's got Madeline Kahn, Tim Curry, Martin Mull, Gene Parmesan, and I can't remember the rest of the actors' names.
There's somebody else in there that I know and I don't remember. Either way, good show.
Yes.
Good game, by the way. Did you play that with us?
Yeah.
One time? Yeah.
We played Clue a couple times.
We gotta get another game now.
I did not win.
My girlfriend's pretty good.
I'm no Benny Blank, let me tell you.
Mr. Blanc, if you will.
If you will. I'll say, if you will.
Oh, man. Good times. We, before we get started, first off, our slushie today is Orangelo. It's orange. Orange. I try to spice it up a little bit, but it's orange. It's good though.
It is delicious,
but it's orange. It's my least favorite, honestly.
I know,
because it's honestly better as a slushie than it is Kool-Aid.
That's fair.
It's disgusting as Kool-Aid.
I can't argue with you because I couldn't tell you last time I drank orange Kool-Aid, and all I have it really to compare it to in my mind is the orange drink
from McDonald's,
which is always very watery. Even without ice, it was always watered down. You got it straight from the machine, whatever. No ice. It was mostly water.
Because I've had it with no ice, and I'm like, well, this is just warm crap. Okay, great.
Like with ice, it's even waterier, but then it's cold.
Fair.
It's still not a win.
And I don't drink Sprite, so
no.
I don't really like pop, honestly.
That's fair. They do have that. I don't know if they still have it. At one point, they had that berry Sprite at McDonald's, and it was pretty good.
Never tried it.
It's like tropical berry Sprite. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw it. No, I don't. I'm
That's
good.
Fair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But no, thank you.
No welcome.
But I usually try to get shakes at McDonald's. I think their vanilla shake is delicious.
Dude, I love a milkshake.
That's what I get from Arby's too. Vanilla milkshake. Delicious.
Yes.
Do you like Shamrock shakes?
No.
Okay, great. Because I never had it, but I'm about to say if you do.
I'm not a big mint as like a main ingredient in things guy. I understand some people are that way.
Mint ice cream is not bad.
Mint ice cream is not bad, but it's not very minty. Like the mint chocolate chip.
Sometimes.
Like the mint chocolate chip ice cream or like the peppermint candy cane ice cream.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I used to like that when I was younger, and then I had it not so long ago. I was like, that's fucking gross.
Mint chocolate chip ice cream, sometimes it's like super minty.
It's not bad. I've never had it when it's like super minty, but also I'm mostly there for the delicate balance of mint and chocolate. Because it was like, oh, here's green mint ice cream. I'm not eating that shit.
When we were younger, my buddy's parents took us to Baskin Robbins, and he got mint chocolate chip, and I was like, thinking about it now, this is what I should have thought. I don't know what I thought. I thought, disgusting. What I thought was, but I didn't know I thought this. We are children. What the fuck are you eating mint chocolate chip ice cream? Get some goddamn chocolate chip or
cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
Cookies and cream.
What are you doing,
Moose
sir?
Tracks.
We are
Moose
8
Tracks.
years old. I don't know what those are. What's that?
It's like vanilla ice cream with like chocolate, just like slices of chocolate in it, and mini peanut butter cups.
Never seen that.
Delicious.
Here's the
like,
thing.
do you know that that like shell shit that you like pour on the ice cream and it's like chocolate and it forms, like it hardens?
Yeah.
It's like that, but they like break it off and put it in the ice cream, so it's like kind of chewy chocolate, like slices in there. It's like real thin.
I don't
like ribbons of chocolate and then like tiny little chocolate peanut butter cups.
I don't like my food. This is gonna sound weird. I don't like. Okay, I'm not gonna say it because it sounds stupid. I'm thinking about it.
Is it touching other things?
No.
Okay.
I was about to say I don't like my food named after animals, and I'm like, well,
chicken.
That's exactly what I thought.
Pork.
Well, the first thing I thought was chicken. I was like, okay, kid, you're an idiot.
Damn it!
You are an idiot, sir. Do you like Battlestar Galactica? No. Well, then, sir, you are an idiot. That's exactly what I was like. I'm not gonna say it. For
Damn
content, let's say it.
Damn it.
So either way, we were on slushies, orange slushies. Let's take a break from our sponsors, or for our sponsors. There it is. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. And welcome back. Great fucking job, Keith. We're going to get started with the cast of Knives Out with young Chris. By all means, sir.
Let's do it. All right. First up, as Benoit Blanc, we have Daniel Craig, James Bond. That's all you need. Come on.
That's all you need.
What else should I say?
Fair.
Next up.
What else has he been in?
What else is there? What else could top it? He was a stormtrooper.
He was a stormtrooper. I was just about to say that.
Unnamed stormtrooper.
In The Last Jedi?
Yes, I think so.
Or no, The Force Awakens.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because she was trapped. She got trapped by old boy Kylo.
Yes, and she mind controlled him. Mm-hmm. It was Force Awakens. Good call, Keith.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good job again, Keith.
Yes. Next up, you know him. You love him. You know that we love him. Chris Evans, Captain America, plays Ransom Drysdale.
He did not knock out Hitler in this one.
Hugh Ransom Drysdale. Chris Evans. Next up, Ana de Armas plays Marta Cabrera.
I liked her.
I did like her. I'm not really familiar with anything else she's done.
Same.
So we're going to keep it moving right along.
Keep it pushing.
To next up, Jamie Lee Curtis.
America's Sweetheart.
Yeah.
I think is what she's been called.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Somebody has to be called that.
She's been in, we know her from Halloween, Halloween H2O, True Lies, Freaky Friday, among other things.
Friday.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Everybody knows her. Come on. Next up, Michael Shannon.
Ooh.
General Zod from Man of Steel.
Easy.
Aside from that, he's been in other things.
He's been in a ton of things.
I know him from this and as General Zod.
He was in Waco. I mean, Waco.
I was going to say, they made an Animaniacs movie? Fuck.
I was just thinking about Aaron and Gabe. Hope this doesn't turn into the Waco situation. It's Waco, Gabe.
Next up, Don Johnson is Richard Drysdale. He was in Miami Vice. He was in Django Unchained. Didn't see either of those things. He's in Watchmen. Don't remember him from it. Again, been in some things. He's great in this.
How many times have you seen Watchmen?
Once.
Same.
Maybe twice, absolute max. Once, beginning to end.
Same.
Guaranteed one time, beginning to end. Intermediate viewings, who knows?
Didn't understand it.
Fair. I didn't care.
I was like, oh.
I stopped caring at a certain point.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, how many times are you going to show this guy's junk?
A lot.
How about that?
A lot.
That's when I was like, okay. It's enough already.
Yeah. Up next, Toni Collette is Joni Thromby. We have seen her in stuff like The Sixth Sense, Little Miss Sunshine, other things. I'm not super familiar with her, to be honest.
I've only seen her in Shaft when Christian Bale played a very convincingly racist guy.
Cool.
So that's where I know him.
Say the only thing I can think of that I definitely saw with her in it was Little Miss Sunshine, but it's been a long time since I saw.
You never
that
seen
movie.
The Sixth Sense?
No.
Really?
I mean, everyone knows the twist, but I just didn't care.
Yeah,
Like,
it was Bruce
I've really
Willis the
never
whole time.
seen. Yeah, that guy was Bruce Willis. I've never seen. I don't think I've really ever seen a Shyamalan movie beginning to end for some reason. At one point in my life, I had a planned date. I was going to go see The Village with a girl.
It's the worst one.
And we decided not to.
Good.
That was the closest I ever came to watching a Shyamalan movie. Like, I'm going to watch this movie. It's never really come up again since.
So you haven't seen any of the other Signs with Mel Gibson?
I'm aware of that one because I know we talked about that one on a previous episode.
Joaquin Phoenix is in it, the Joker.
Yeah.
The girl from Little Abigail Breslin.
Joaquin.
Rory Culkin's in it. It's a great show.
I'm aware of it. Like, I've, again, never seen one beginning to end. I've seen parts of it because I know, like, he's got a bat and there's an alien and there's glasses of water everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And Mel Gibson is not anti-Semitic, hopefully, in it.
No,
unless the aliens turn out to be Jewish, in which case, good luck. Get back in your spaceship and go back to New York City.
He's a preacher whose wife dies, and then he stops believing in God.
Oh,
and so
he starts believing in aliens.
Well, shit, they come down. They come down to Earth and start killing people.
Well,
so
you better believe it.
Didn't have a choice.
You better believe it. Next up, as Lieutenant Elliot, Lakeith Stanfield. He has been in a few things. I haven't seen any of them. Really, I do want to see one of that Yasuke, that Netflix anime where he plays like a black samurai. I want to see that. He's in Judas and the Black Messiah. He's in Atlanta with Donald Glover. Donald Glover. Yes, Donald Glover. Yeah. Yes. Got it right. Nailed it.
I hope so.
He was in Uncut Gems, apparently.
Yes.
Didn't see that. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
Was that any good?
It was pretty good. It was better than I thought.
Because I know it was pretty split down the middle, where a lot of people were like, oh, it sucked. And a lot of people were like, it's the best Adam Sandler movie I've ever seen.
Literally.
Even though it wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny at all.
Yeah.
The best thing that's ever happened about that movie, me and my girlfriend were watching it, sitting on the couch, and we're watching it. 10 minutes before the end, she goes, is this supposed to be a comedy? And I was like, girl, no. She was like, this is a great movie. I did not find it funny.
Okay, I was going to say, like, was she laughing the whole way through?
No.
Okay.
People were getting shot and killed. And, she was like, she's like, I honestly thought it was a comedy when you first, because she hadn't heard of it. And I was like, I want to watch it. So we watched it. And she was like, it's not funny. And I was like, no. I was like, why would you think it's funny? She's like, I thought it was a comedy. I was like, no. Yeah, so no. He was also, Lakeith Stanfield was also in Get Out. And I feel like he was in something else too, and I don't remember. But either way.
Okay. Next up, as Harlan Thrombey, Charles Dance.
There it is. I was going to give you shit.
Just kidding. It's Max von Sydow.
Listen.
Gotcha again. It's Christopher Plummer.
It's the late Magneto.
It's fuck. It's Sir McKellen. No, it is the late great Christopher Plummer. It's Gandalf. Yes, it is Sir Gandalf the Grey. No, it is the late great Christopher Plummer.
Yes.
Who apparently I've never seen a movie with him fucking in it except for this one, but I think he's in everything.
Yeah, we've watched.
Oh no, I've seen Up. He's in that. He's like a voice actor.
Oh, is he?
But
he's been in like every movie. I feel like.
I know, but I haven't seen most of
it. Really?
Because remember when we had this idea for this podcast, and you were like, "We've seen a lot of movies," and I was like, "You've seen a lot of movies," and you were like, "No, you've seen some movies.
You have seen some movies. We just haven't reviewed those
movies. I've seen
movies.
some comic book movies.
You've seen a lot of movies.
I've seen a lot of Ninja Turtle movies in my life.
There's 7. And the other times, you've seen a ton of movies.
I've seen some things. It just it doesn't. Sometimes there's no overlap.
There you go. That's okay.
Movies that I've seen and the movies that are relevant.
Everything is 6 degrees of separation, so you're good.
That's fair.
You're all good.
But yes, Christopher Plummer.
I was gonna give you shit when he first appeared on screen. I was like, I looked over. I was like, Keith, no, it's a good day. But I was gonna be like, man, Charles Dance is dead.
God damn it!
But I didn't. I refrained.
And you could have been forgiven for that because I would have laughed, let's be honest.
I know you would have.
And also, because I just watched the fucking Ghostbusters 2016 one the other day, and he was in that for like a second at the very beginning. Yeah. He didn't show up again, and he didn't need to be in it after that.
You said you liked that. I meant to ask you
I did like it. The beginning, okay, sidetrack, let's get to it. The beginning of that fucking movie, when Gabriel Susan Lewis...
Hilarious.
First off, hilarious that he's even in it.
Yes.
Is giving the tour of that house.
I think I told you he was in it.
Yes, you told me he was in it. And he was like, this is like the first of its house, first house of its kind to have a face bidet and anti-Irish security fencing. I had to rewind it because I was laughing so fucking hard, and Megan missed it. I was like, let's rewind it and replay it again, and she fucking died. He was hilarious, and then fucking Charles Dance was in it, and then Stan Sitwell was in it, and then just the main cast is great.
Yes,
plus Thor.
Oh,
come on.
Who's the woman in it? I know it's Leslie.
It's Kristen Wiig. Leslie Jones. Melissa McCarthy. Kate McKinnon and Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
Hilarious across the board.
And then the cameos.
Funny. And then Bill Murray's in it. Dan Aykroyd's in it. Ernie Hudson's in it. And even a statue of the late, I can't think of his name now, Harold Ramis as Egon. There's like a gold statue of him. And I can't think of the actress's name. I never knew it, so why would I think of it? The lady, she was their secretary in the first 2 Ghostbusters movies, and she's apparently gonna, spoiler alert, she's gonna be in the next one.
Oh, is she? Nice.
Yes.
Well, so is Dan Aykroyd, or somebody else is supposed to be coming back?
Ernie Hudson, I think, is coming back for it also. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if all the living Ghostbusters show up in it, because what else are they gonna do with their time? But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that movie.
That was a great movie.
And there's really no fucking reason not to. Well, unless you're a misogynist.
Well.
Unless you think women aren't funny.
Well.
Unless you're so hung up on some movie from the 80s that had a lackluster sequel that you think the 2-movie franchise and a subsequent weird cartoon series and comics is untouchable.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, what was better than the fucking movies for me? The Ninja Turtle crossover comics that they did. Because it had the Ninja Turtles in it.
I have a feeling had more to do with the turtles.
It did. It did.
Hilarious.
Fucking Donatello and Egon teamed up to build machines. It was great. Anywho.
We should watch it.
What?
Ghostbusters 8 or whatever it's called. Isn't it called? No.
What, the new one that's coming up?
No, well, the 2016 version.
The one that they...
The one you just watched.
The one they called Answer the Call at Ghostbusters. It was just called Ghostbusters. Or first, I think it was called Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And now I think it was just called Ghostbusters, even though at the end of the movie it said Answer the Call.
The one you just watched?
Yes, the 2016 one.
I don't care what
it was like it was like a Birds of Prey type situation, but it was much better. Way better than fucking Birds of Prey.
Oh, for sure. I didn't know the next one. I forgot the next one had Paul Rudd in it.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be good.
I'm excited. I would, honestly, I'm going to see it just based on that. Because I fucking love Paul Rudd.
It just sucks that they had to, like, reboot it from the 2016 version, but, you know.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I understand.
Yes.
It's just...
it was good. It was good.
I thought Kate McKinnon was hilarious. I thought Kristen Wiig was hilarious.
Kate McKinnon is always fucking hilarious.
To me, she's always fucking
Kristen Wiig is always hilarious.
I thought Leslie Jones was great.
Leslie Jones was very funny.
The fact that her uncle was Ernie Hudson.
Yes. At the very end, when that car pulled up and he got out, I was like, oh, of course. Because all the other ones have been in it. I was like, is Ernie Hudson going to show up in this movie? Like, did we forget about Winston Zeddemore?
Maybe not.
And he showed up, and we're like, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
But I thought Thor was fucking hilarious.
Thor was so fucking funny.
When the phone started ringing, it was too loud. He covered his eyes.
Hilarious.
When he like had an itch on his eye and he reached through his fucking eyeglasses to poke himself in the eye to scratch his eye because there was no lenses in it. It's like they kept getting dirty, so I just took them out. Hilarious.
He was funny in that movie.
He was so very funny.
And the fact that, spoiler alert, he becomes a fucking villain, basically.
Yeah, like unwilling villain.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, great.
So good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great movie. That's why I tell people, like...
He was almost like the... Shit. He has glasses. Rick Moranis. He's almost the Rick Moranis of that movie because like Rick Moranis was kind of like the goofy guy who got possessed and turned into like the demon dog thing.
Yeah.
He's almost like the Rick Moranis of that movie.
Fair.
He's in good company.
Same build and everything.
He's in Rick Moranis. Let me tell you, man. Rick Moranis is
a brick shithouse.
Huge. Rick Moranis got punched in the head last year in New York City, and he hunted that dude down, and he knocked him the fuck out.
He murdered him.
No, he didn't, but he should have. Because who the fuck does that to Barney Rubble?
Same. That movie showed up on Prime the other day.
Flintstones?
I was looking for something to watch, and I was like, I'm not.
Don't want to watch that.
I was like, I'm not that desperate.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not saying it's not good,
right?
Because I did like Halle Berry.
I couldn't tell you if it was good or not because I haven't watched it since I was a kid. It had Halle Berry, John Goodman, Rick Moranis, Rosie O'Donnell.
I forgot who Wilma was.
Yeah, same. Like I know I've seen her, but I can't remember.
Yeah, and then
who played the mom?
What mom?
Wilma's mom. Was it like? Was it like Liz Taylor or somebody?
I don't remember. Yeah, because she's rich, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
That's right. You might be right. That's funny. Because I know Halle Berry worked for the Rock Company.
Yeah, she's Mr. Slate's like sexy secretary who like acts like who tries to convince Wilma that like Fred's having an affair with her or something, right?
Who is Mr. Slate? Is either the guy from SVU, Captain Cragen, or who's the other guy that he could be? There's another guy, but either way, I like him.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
And like Halle Berry obviously can do no wrong, so I'm cool with that. Yeah. Even, did you ever see the Catwoman movie?
I did not.
With her in it, I think I watched it, and I was like, okay.
I did not.
I was like, all right, because they kind of got away from the whole Gotham thing, and I was just like, well, you got to kind of. It's kind of, to me, it was. They tried to do what Joker did a couple years ago, with Joaquin Phoenix. Yep, Captain Cragen. Captain Cragen from SVU. But yeah, the Catwoman movie tried to do what Joker did, like kind of made it like a little serious. But then they added like CGI Catwoman, like doing flips and shit. I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this again. And I never did. So I watch different movies. Turn right back on X-Men.
Much different movies.
DC be fucking up, man.
Sometimes, not that Marvel's infallible, whether it's them or other studios making their movies, but DC is definitely got more butterfingers than Marvel. Yeah, Marvel dropping their shit.
They still got an A.
Yeah.
Even with the terrible shows they had. Sorry, we've been all off track.
That's the name of the game around here.
Same. Knives Out.
All right, next up, as Meg Thrombey, we've got Catherine Langford. She's in 13 Reasons Why. Didn't watch it, but I know it was a pretty popular thing.
Do you know what that was about?
I think it was about someone who committed suicide. Like a high schooler that committed suicide. I think. So, again, I didn't watch it.
TikTok.
Oh, boy.
People say stuff, and I had no idea. And somebody was like, this happened for about a couple months now. Something would happen, a TikTok, and then you go to the comments, and somebody would be like, I can't believe you posted this video. How do you know this isn't my 13th reason? And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it's funny, right? And then I pieced it together that 13 Reasons Why was about suicide. And basically they're saying, like, you know what they're saying. Like, apparently in that show, she had 13 reasons why she wanted to commit suicide. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, you guys are just the worst. But I laughed. So, not at the show. I didn't see the show. But I laugh at the comments on TikTok. They're the worst. But good times. Either way. Sorry.
Oh, you're all good. Next up, as Jacob Thrombey, Jaden Martell. He was in It. He was in the sequel to It, Chapter 2 or Part 2, whatever they called it. Again, not a ton of other things that I'm aware of. Next up, Ricky Lindholm as Donna Thrombey. She was in The Last House on the Left. She's in the Lego Batman movie. She was Poison Ivy. She was in an episode of DuckTales, new DuckTales series. Again, aside from that, nothing really that I know her from. Edie Patterson is Fran, the housekeeper. Next up, podcast favorite, Frank Oz as Alan Stevens, the Will Reader. Come on, you know him. You love him.
Young Yoda.
Come on.
Oh, Yoga. Sorry. My bad.
Come on. He's Yoda. He's Fozzie Bear in the Muppets. He's been Bert and many other Muppets on Sesame Street.
Facts.
He's been around for a long time. He's done a lot of stuff, but he's mostly Yoda, and puppeteering is what he's known for. Also Grover on Sesame Street. So give it up for Frank Oz, ladies and gentlemen. Holds for applause. Excellent.
Cough clap.
That's not correct. Next up, Kay Callan as Great Nana Wanetta, Christopher Plummer's mother. After that, we got Noah Segan as Trooper Wagner, Emmett Walsh as Mr. Prufrock, the security guy who's been in everything, been in a million things. And then finally, unseen, but apparently heard, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie as Detective. What a name on him, Detective Hard Rock,
a.k.a. Robin.
Yes. With voice only, I couldn't pick him out.
I wouldn't have never guessed.
I thought he was in the movie because the credits just said Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and on IMDb it says voice. So I did not know he was even in it, let alone that we had to listen intently to hear him.
Fair.
But he was in it, so good for him.
Good for him.
And we'll count it. So that is it for the cast of Knives Out. I'm going to throw it over to Keith for the young plot of Knives Out.
And I caught it. All right.
God.
Same. I feel God in his chilies tonight. Okay, the plot of Knives Out. Okay. So it stars Christopher Plummer as Harlan Thrombey. He is a fiction novelist, I guess, and he is he writes a lot of what kind of novels would you
I think they're like murder mysteries.
Like murder mysteries. Okay, so he writes murder mysteries, and it starts out with him. They find him dead with a knife to the throat, and they don't know what happened. They rule it as a suicide, and everyone goes about their day. But then there's a call from the cops to his house or his nurse, because Christopher Plummer's like 85, and they make a call to his nurse, and you overhear somebody saying, "Hey, the cops have a few more questions about Harlan. Come to the estate." And so we find out that Marta, his nurse, is she only used to work part-time for Harlan because something happened to him because he's older and they needed somebody to help. And then Harlan ended up hiring her full-time because he needed a friend. So after that, we're introduced to Harlan's daughter, which is Jamie Lee Curtis, and her husband, Don Johnson. And I'm going to just use real name because I don't care about their fake names. And also his son, Walt, I do know that, young General Zod. And then his daughter-in-law, Joni, and then she has a young daughter as well. Then we find out America's Ass, a.k.a. Ransom, Hugh.
Only the help calls is you.
Yeah. We find out that young Captain America is also a part of this situation as well. But we don't see him for like a first act of the movie.
He's definitely America's ass in this movie.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And we love him for it.
I do. I thought it was great.
Yes. And he can wear a sweater.
Listen. So we find out, again, it's a suicide, but the police are still asking questions, and we are introduced slowly to a detective, Benny,
investigator,
a private investigator, Benoit Blanc, or as Lakeith Stanfield calls him, Benny.
I made us randomly burst into a southern accent.
I can tell. Have you not?
It's already happened.
It's happened a couple times.
It's already happened a few times. Compels me, though.
Got the seeds and the dirt.
And the greenbacks.
Greenbacks.
I can't do this. I can't do it. Can't pay them.
Oh, Christ. We have fun.
If nothing else, we have fun.
That's it. So, let's see. Where was I at? Okay, so we're introduced into Benoit Blanc, and he's just a shadowy figure, but you can tell he's directing this line of questioning. And all they're doing, they're asking about his 85th birthday party, which was the night before he died. They talk about everybody's relationship, his daughter's relationship, his son's relationship. A couple scenes later, Benoit Blanc thinks that everyone is lying but Marta, because everybody is lying but Marta. And he doesn't believe that they are murdering people, but that they murdered Harlan, but also something doesn't add up. Then we also find out that Marta can't lie physically. If she lies, her body has a reaction where she pukes on everybody. Good times. Let's see. This is a classic whodunit. And then after all that, all the questioning, all the back and forth, all the, hey, it's a suicide. Their dad, Harlan, died of a suicide. They have a will reading. And the will reading is as boring as, I forgot what he says.
Demolition Derby? Is that what he said?
He said something like was boring, like sewing or something. I don't remember what he says. But he is like, it's enthralling as something. Because it's boring. It's a will reading. All you're doing is reading assets or something. We get in there. The whole family's there. The family tells Marta, hey, you were a part of our family. When we get this money, we will take care of you because you deserve it. You were there for our father, and you took really good. You were a good person. You were one of the good ones.
When we get this money.
When we get this money. Young Frank Oz, young Yoda, is reading the will with help from his paralegal because he apparently can't read. I don't know.
Alan, you can take this document. You can shove it up your ass. Get the hell out of here.
He reads a will. Oh, I'm sorry. Before all that, Ransom shows up. Young Chris Evans shows up, and they're like, hey, Ransom, you didn't go to the funeral, but you're early for the will reading? How typical. Then we learn that Ransom has been cut out of the will. And they now know this going into the will. And Ransom was also Harlan's favorite, and he was cut out of the will. So, of course, his daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Walt, his son, are like, oh, this is all our money. And Joni, she's a leech. She's just a leech. That's it. She's just a leech.
She's a bum.
Yeah, she's a bum.
She's a thief. She's a thief.
A bum, Rocky. So, yeah.
Cut me, Mick. I didn't see you, but you gotta cut me.
There it is.
Heads up.
Never seen those movies, by the way.
Hit the one in the middle, you bum.
I'll never watch them either.
Same. One of them someone had a robot butler for some reason. It was set in the fucking 80s.
Yeah, because he was super rich and he didn't know what to do with his money or something. I do know that for some reason. I don't know why, but I do.
Dumb.
So either way, so after that, they go to the will reading. Old smudge Chris Evans sitting in the back because he knows he's not getting any money, and everybody else knows he's not getting any money, and everyone else is so happy. And as Frank Oz is reading the will, said, I, Harlan Thrombey, hereby leave all my assets to Marta Cabrera. And white people explode.
Dun, dun, dun.
They explode because who is she? This illegal, as someone calls her, anchor baby.
Jesus.
They were going in. She's from Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, Ecuador. Yep. They don't know anything about this lady.
They claim to know all about her and be friendly with her, and she's one of the family, but they don't know shit about her. I don't care.
Because she, like Don Johnson says, she did it the right way. Her family came into this country the right way. A whole thing.
Little does he seem to know.
Little does he know.
Her mother's undocumented.
So at the end of the day, so Marta is the sole heir, and as everybody's freaking out, they say, "Get out of our house. This is still our."
Oh yes,
because Frank Oz forgot to read.
He's not done yet. He was great.
He was so good.
Maybe he did need some help.
His 10 minutes. He was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
I also leave the house at 2 Dearborn Drive to Marta Cabrera.
Yep, the house and everything in it.
So, synopsis of all that: Harlan's dead. Suicide. Benoit Blanc thinks there's something going on, because everyone's lying. Marta, the only one who's quote unquote telling the truth, wink,
wink in the microphone,
is now the sole heir of everything Harlan ever owned. $60 million, his publishing estate, his house, everything, and the family gets nada. And from there, we go on a journey.
Oh man, did we go?
That's like the end of the second act, and then it's uphill from there. It wasn't downhill at all. We were right at the top of the mountain. It's to the heavens after this one.
We got to the top of the mountain, and there was an elevator on top of that mountain. There was a rocket ship on top of that mountain. As
Chris's favorite band would say, there was a stairway to heaven.
I'm okay.
I think that's an AC/DC song. Sorry.
No, that was.
I have no idea.
First of all, no. I don't even have time to explain how wrong you are.
I probably am wrong. That's
It's gonna bother me if I don't.
Who sings that?
No, it's Led Zeppelin. I'm pretty sure it's Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, you like them?
I don't mind them.
Oh, okay.
But also I don't like AC/DC. I don't know what you're going for. I know what you were doing. Let's say Weird Al didn't sing Stairway to Heaven.
He probably has a parody of it.
I hope he does out there. Does. He might. And if he doesn't, maybe he should.
Yeah, maybe. Either way. So that was the plot. And I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about everything that I didn't cover.
We are definitely going to talk about everything.
Yes, we are.
Because that's everything that's there.
That is literally everything I didn't say is what we're going to talk about.
And even things you did say we're going to go back to because it was so good.
Well, let's get to some likes then, Chris.
We just going to double team it?
We might as well.
Let's team up.
Let's might as well. We're probably going to roll into the dislikes, guys.
Uh-oh.
Because
Wonder Twin powers unite.
Activate.
Form of likes.
Chris Evans's ass.
Oh, dear.
I don't know.
Form of Chris Evans's ass. You could do worse, I guess.
That's fair.
Costume didn't do a thing for him, let me tell you.
I'll let you go first.
Not me. That's America's ass. All right, my first like. Let's just get right into it. Benoit Blanc himself.
Yes.
Or actually, well, no, I should have said one first. I'll save it for later because I already said this one first. Okay. Benoit Blanc is number one.
Okay.
Before he even appeared on the screen, I wrote him down because I know that he's my favorite part of this movie.
Fair.
He is so delightful.
I agree.
And to be fair, I don't think I've really seen a lot of Daniel Craig movies before this because I'm not a huge James Bond guy.
Fair.
I've seen a couple. My dad's apparently a big James Bond guy, especially Daniel Craig.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Like he always wanted to go see the new ones in the theater.
I would think he would be a Roger Moore kind of guy. Or a Sean Connery.
I think he was like a Pierce Brosnan guy also.
Pierce Brosnan was good.
He was a Pierce Brosnan guy, and then when like Daniel Craig, he was like, I think he went and saw all the Daniel Craig ones in the theaters.
They're still coming out.
And he's still got work to do.
Yeah, there's one coming out next year or this year.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Because Skyfall just came out like 2 years ago.
He's gonna go see it then.
Wow, that's why I'm surprised because
it was
new.
Casino Royale,
and then Skyfall.
That was it. I thought he did other ones.
There might have been one before Casino Royale. I just don't know which one it was because I didn't keep up with it.
Yeah, same.
I saw Casino Royale maybe, but I saw Skyfall because everyone was like, "Oh, so good," and I didn't understand the fucking thing that happened in that movie.
I didn't see him.
So I was like, "Oh, okay."
I think I may have seen Casino Royale. Is that the one where he get tied to the chair? Don't know. The dude like, it made like a bunch of internet things where like the torture was like it was tied to a chair with the bottom cut out of it, and the dude had like a rope with either just like a bunch of rope tied up at the end of it or like a metal ball or something. He was just like blasting him in the testicles to torture him. I didn't watch that movie. It was in one of those movies.
That was
like it wasn't like explicitly done like
dark web movie.
And it wasn't like explicitly done like showing it, but like the dude was just like whapping him like torturously in the testicles.
Okay, no.
No.
Yeah. Listen, let me tell you about James Bond. I like Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye because of the video game.
There it is.
That's the only reason why. But the movie was great too.
The main things I liked about James Bond movies, I think we talked about this before, is Q. I always liked the gadgets.
Oh.
Because like John Cleese was him in I want to say it was the Pierce Brosnan ones. It was John Cleese, and he's hilarious in all the Monty Pythons. He was funny as shit in Fawlty Towers.
Did I think he was funny?
And he was like the gadget dude. Because he gave him, because like he wasn't like explicitly funny in the movies. Like he wasn't around like a comedy sidekick guy, but he had some like I think I remember him being comical, like there's a couple lines here and there. But he gave him the car that he drove with a fucking touchpad.
Yeah.
He gave him like his watches that had all the shit built into him. I just like the gadget guys.
I just like the fact that it was like one of the first games where I'm like, oh, that's a movie. Oh, that's a game. Oh, it's the same thing. Like honestly, if I think about it, I don't think I'm not saying there weren't other movies like that, but like I don't remember a lot of them because I was just like, okay, this was to me, it was one of the first movies that came out with a game as well at the same time. And so I watched the movie, play the game, and I was like, oh, I know that part. Oh, I know. Oh, that's a facility. Oh, okay, that's 006. Oh, okay, that's like, it was great. And then I watched the one with Halle Berry.
Is that Die Another Day?
I don't know. It might be. Or World's Not Enough. Because he only made like 3. He might have made 4, but I think he made 3.
I forget, because I know I saw the one with him, and I think it was Lucy Liu, where like they were going after like the media guy.
I don't think it was Lucy Liu.
I forget.
I don't think she was a Bond girl.
I thought she was in one of them. Like, I don't think she was like a Bond girl, but I think she was like a sidekick character. I could be wrong.
Well, they call them Bond girls.
Yeah.
If you're a woman in the Bond movie
that's fair.
He tries to have sex with you, you're a Bond girl.
That's fair.
So, but that's what my thing about Bond is. I'm like, dude, 17 different people played him. Give me a real good reason why Idris Elba can't.
Exactly.
Give me a good reason.
Yeah.
Because
there isn't one.
Because he's English.
Yeah.
He has an accent.
I think that's like the qualifying. I think that should be like the disqualifying factor, if anything. Either you're an English actor or you can do a convincing accent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and also, which, everything else aside, forget the English accent, I think you kind of got to be like sexy. And Idris Elba has been the world's sexiest man at one point. Man. I'm pretty sure he had the magazine cover at one point.
I think you're right.
And Daniel Craig? Okay. Sure, if you say so. If that's your cup of tea. Over Idris Elba, though? So you got to tell me what the real reason why.
I think we know the real reason.
We know the reason why. I'm being facetious, but it's okay.
They don't want someone who's been in a Marvel movie.
Yep, that's all it is.
To be a Bond.
That's all it is. Either way, let's get black to this movie.
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
Yes, Benoit Black. But no, sorry. Daniel Craig is number one on my list, easily, for me. The best.
Same. I agree. He was on mine as well. I wrote a couple things for him, to be fair.
Same.
But I'll just put them together. Benoit Blanc is amazing.
Yep.
And I wrote Bond's accent because I forgot his name. Because he didn't say his name first.
Benoit Bond.
Yeah. I was like, Bond's accent is awesome. But no, I agree with you. Benoit Blanc, just everything, his voice, his accent, the way he solves the crimes, like he's so fucking dramatic.
Yeah. Because it takes him till like the very end almost to do so. Part. And he kind of says that like that's how he does it.
Yeah.
He's like, I leisurely stroll to the end of the rainbow.
He does.
and arrive at the truth. This machine unerringly arrives at the truth.
Yes.
Gravity's rainbow. He arrives at the terminus of these arcs, like lava rocks. He had so many lines that were so good. I was just writing down lines. I wrote the gravity's rainbow. I wrote machine unerringly arrives at the truth. Age deepens all feelings, including grief.
Yeah, he did say that.
And he also said grief is the providence of youth. I was like, he's like, that's true, because like everyone was worrying about themselves, not worrying about the woman whose son died.
Yeah.
Had to be minimum 100-year-old woman whose 85-year-old son died before her.
Doesn't mean she had him at 15 if she's 100.
At least.
Yeah.
And maybe she had him younger, who knows. But yeah. And no one gave a shit. Like, no one was shown conversing with her aside from him.
And he said as much. He was like, and has anyone...
Yeah, he's like, excuse me if I am assumedly the first to console you or offer my condolences to you on the loss of your son. And she just it was kind of sad. Like, to see her just sitting there staring blankly until the very end when she fucking laughed.
Hilarious.
Great. But we'll get there.
Yeah, Blanc was so good. And the fact that Lakeith Stanfield called him Benny just made it so much better. He's like, look here, Benny. I was like, yes.
And the family, to disrespect him, were calling him like Blank, Mr. Blank.
He was like, Detective Blank. That was fucking
Detective
Joni.
Blanc,
she's a piece of shit.
Please. The other thing I wrote for him was Donut.
Hilarious.
Because how could I not? He is so good. I did not expect this at all. He could have just been regular old fucking Daniel Craig in this movie with his normal accent and everything, and I wouldn't have thought twice. But the fact that he had this southern accent, the CSI KFC,
hilarious.
As
he even says, what's the chicken's name?
He says with this bullshit foghorn leghorn southern drawl. Hilarious. It's like, what we've got here is a donut with a hole in the center of it. And then he thinks he fills it in. He's like, your story is the donut hole in our donut's hole. But in fact, it's a smaller donut with its own hole in the center. So our own main donut is not yet whole. I was like, he did a whole thing about donuts, and I loved it. Anytime he was speaking, I was delighted.
I agree.
When he was sitting outside the fucking hairdressing salon waiting for Marta to come out, and he's got his iPod, his earphones in, and he's just singing
away.
And the fucking ambulance comes up, and he's like, "Oh Lord," because you were like this guy. You're like this guy, but he always had something when like they showed up at the burning toxicology lab. What's the cheese?
What's the cheese? I loved it.
He's the best. He's sitting at that piano as they're like the detective and the trooper, or Lieutenant Elliot and Trooper Wagner are interrogating the family. He just randomly hits like a key on the piano, and everyone just kind of looks up, and then I think it's Jamie Lee Curtis like, who the fuck is that? Or no, Don Johnson like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
And he's like, my appearance here is purely ornamental. And the next time you see him,
no way.
And the next time you see him, he is leading the line of questioning. He is asking all the fucking questions, and I love it.
The pertinent questions.
I love it.
Facts.
He was great.
I agree.
He was like, I have eliminated no suspects at this time. He did it all, man.
Loved it.
He had a Watson. He said the game was afoot.
The game is afoot.
He appeared to be bumbling. He was not. Even like some things like happened to get out of his grip that weren't his fault, because Marta was also going out of her way to kind of affect the investigation.
Because she was playing her own game.
Because she was about to be implicated. He even called, like, he said it to her. She's like, "You're not much of a detective." She hands him the toxic report. She's like, "You're not much of a detective, are you?" "Well, you're not much of a murderer." "Perhaps we deserve each other." I was like, this guy.
There has been a lot of murder and a lot of intrigue.
My little heart can't hardly take no more. If I had to ask Daniel Craig, which designing woman did he base his accent off of?
Delta Burke. I do declare. Good time.
Amazing.
Same.
He was the best.
I wrote that. Benoit Blanc is amazing. I wrote that.
He's so
verbatim.
Great.
Yeah.
And the fact that Netflix announced that they bought the rights to make more of these movies, and so far he is going to be in them. That's all I needed. Because obviously, if the rest of the family's in it, it wouldn't make sense. But he is like the main. He is the holdover character that I need to see in these movies. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that very much.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up.
I just wrote hilarious. I wrote 6 legs down in the first 2 minutes.
I remember you told me that.
Hilarious. This was just a funny fucking movie.
Yes.
This movie was hilarious for it not to be a comedy. I mean, I'm sure it's probably listed under a comedy. Maybe.
Might be.
But that's secondary to the fucking crime or mystery, whatever it is. This movie is so fucking funny. From Marta not being able to tell a lie and she pukes on people, hilarious. To fucking Benoit Blanc, like you said, he's like, my appearance here is purely, and I'm like, dude, you are all in this shit. Like hilarious.
Who hired you? Fucking I do not know.
Fucking Wagner being a fucking fanboy. Oh man, hilarious.
Dude, Trooper Wagner and Lieutenant Elliot were everyone watching this movie at the same time.
Same.
When Marta throws up the first time,
damn,
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much my first one. I was like, oh my god.
Dude, it was so
and then
great.
Wagner's like, you're just like in that book.
Yep.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
The cow on the shotgun.
Yeah.
How does he come up with that?
Right. Same.
Amazing.
Man, the family for this movie to make you hate Jamie Lee Curtis. For this movie to make you like laugh at both sides of the spectrum, from being a SJW to being a fucking neo-Nazi, to laugh at them both. Because they were honestly portrayed correctly, in my opinion, and I was just like, this is so fucking good. Ransom being a shithead, being a spoiled trust fund baby, like,
still couldn't make me dislike him though.
No.
I loved him.
Not at all. Eat shit. Like,
definitely eat shit.
I feel like fucking...
I'm not going to eat one iota of shit.
Fucking Michael Shannon being amazing. He was hilarious.
He was great. And they gave him so much more time than anyone else of the family.
Yeah, they kind of do.
And it was really good. He was good at it.
Like, everybody was good.
Because I saw this before I saw Man of Steel. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Or no, I didn't.
No.
Because I think you told me that you were like, if you're going to watch Knives Out. And I was like, he's great in this. And he wasn't bad in Man of Steel, but he was great in this.
He's great in this. I tell you, I've seen him in a couple different movies. He's always been good. And so he was great. Marta's sister was fucking hilarious. She was watching some murder mystery, and her mom was like, "Can you turn it down?" It's like, your sister just went through, her best friend just slit his fucking throat, and you're gonna up here watch this? How do you think she feels about this? And then she consoles her, and I'm like, well, I guess saying it doesn't really help.
Right.
Like,
screaming about
hilarious.
It definitely doesn't lessen the impact of it.
It was so fucking
And then she's
good.
like, you can go ahead and finish your show. It's
watch
fine.
it.
She's like, dude, no, there's 2 minutes left. I already figured out who it was.
Yeah, she already guessed who it was. It's fine. it's like, dude, this movie was just fucking phenomenal. And when I first watched it, I was like, I'm telling everybody about this movie, which I did. I was like, hey, you should watch this. You should watch this.
You told me about it.
I definitely did. I was like,
yeah. And it took me longer than it should have for me to watch it.
It's okay. You don't know until you know.
And I've watched it like 3 times.
And now that you know, it's like, yeah, you should have watched it.
And now I'm telling people. And now I definitely should have watched it sooner. And I'm telling people to watch it. I got Tyler to watch it. I got to get Megan to watch it.
Yeah.
She will. If she doesn't love it, that's fine. I still get to watch it again.
Jaron, watch it. It's a great movie.
I think he'd like it. Why not? If you like good movies, you'll like it.
Yeah, same. Love you, Jaron.
Sonic.
I didn't say it this time.
Also, love you, Jaron.
But yeah, that's hilarious. That's my like. I'll let you go.
To go along with that, my like, the cast.
Fair.
Just the cast. Everybody was great. And, and I'm sure we'll talk about individual people. We already have talked about individual people, and we'll probably talk about individual people more. Just the cast in general.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of people I've seen before, a lot of people I hadn't seen before.
Facts.
And a lot of people that I thought I've seen before, but were actually Charles Dance.
Hilarious.
Or Max von Sydow. It's just weird how much they all look alike.
But, old white guys looking alike, huh?
Yeah, I'll get there.
80-year-old white guys?
I'll get there.
I'll start calling you Charles Dance.
Time.
little Charles Dance. You got a little red in your hair, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Charles Dance got the red.
Yes, he did.
Do you got one eye?
Not yet.
You got a Thor eye up there?
I don't have a glass eye like in Last Action Hero just yet.
With a little smiley face on it?
Yes, little smiley face, little bullseye, little like lizard eye.
Loved it.
Little, I think it was like an 8-ball.
Loved it.
All kinds of shit.
Same. I agree.
Mr. Benedict. He was good.
I agree with you about the cast, though. The cast were great.
Because there's like some big names.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, of course.
Yeah, Michael Shannon stands by himself as well.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, obviously Frank Oz, Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Like, all these people are well known.
Yeah.
Love it. And each cast member makes you feel a way about them.
Yeah.
Whether you like them or hate them. And honestly, the family, none of them made you like them.
I'll say it's mostly hate them.
Yeah.
For a lot of
the only person you really like or have sympathy for is Nana. And
I would say Marta also.
Yeah, I was just thinking of family, though.
Oh, family, yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying just Nana.
Just Nana. Because everyone else is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Even Meg, who, like, seems like she's going to be okay, and then at the end is, like, still kind of, like, almost okay.
Yeah.
In the middle, she, like, lets herself get pressured into it. She's like, so, can we have our money back? Are you just going to, like, give it back to us? And she's like, no, well, I'll take care of you. Like, I'll make sure things are put right. Okay, hangs up on her.
I took that as long as Meg was okay, she was good.
Yeah, or she was just like, I know that, you know, you're not gonna budge, so okay. And then they pan back and everyone just watching her, like, you know, she was put up to it.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, like, she could have said fuck you to all of them.
Well, and then also she told about her mom being illegal.
Yep.
So she's not cleared or absolved.
Yeah, she's definitely not.
Anything.
She was her quote friend.
Yeah.
Because she gave her weed now and again.
And also, she corrected the fucking cops about calling her to help.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, but your parents see her as a help.
But she also was like, yeah, you were like family, but we're his actual family.
Fair. See, and I do...
He liked her more than any of them.
I really take that... Oh, absolutely. Because most of the time, that's what really happens in real life.
Yeah.
But I take that as face value because that's how a lot of people are. Especially nowadays too, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm an ally." Absolutely, yeah, but your parents still treat me like shit. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's just who they are. No, then you're not an ally. You can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't her parents, but Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Johnson, they treated her like the help. She's a nurse. He gave her a plate when he got done eating off of it.
He brought her in to their argument to make a point
about illegal immigrants,
assuming that he would agree with her, or assuming that she would agree with him.
See.
And then he hands her a fucking plate as soon as like she says the thing that he wants her to say. Or like try like as soon as she says anything, he just hands her the plate. Like, all right, that's enough.
Think she said a thing in that conversation. I don't think she said anything.
I think she said something. Like I think she like passively was like, mm-hmm.
Maybe.
But like, she didn't say much. Like she didn't say much. She knew she was just there to like be a prop in the thing, and he just hands her the plate, and then it goes right back to them not giving a shit. They didn't care about her before that.
No.
They didn't care about her during it, and then they went right back to not caring about her after.
And then I don't know if you noticed, but that's why she had a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
Because then she had a panic attack, and then that's when the girl offered her weed. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're an ally, but the people you love are causing this. Because it was her mom who was arguing with Don Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, dude, no. I hate people like that, and I know a lot of people like that, and I fucking hate it. And they're like, oh, I you know, BLM or this or this or this. And it's like, what about your parents? Like, my sister, I didn't share it because I don't want the arguments. I got enough shit going on in my life. But my sister shared something today. It was like, you should ask your grandparents how it felt when they didn't like black people back in the day. And I was like, huh. Well, I was like, yep. Have that hard conversation, ally.
Well, mine are dead, so.
I just thought it was, I was like, yeah.
So I'll take that easy out, I guess.
I'm out of here. But either way, I don't know what we're talking about, but yes, I agree. The cast. Sorry.
That was mine. To like piggyback off of your just the movie being hilarious.
Fair. My turn?
Yeah.
The family, to go off what you said, the cast, just specifically a family, I can already touch on it, but the family is the same. They think they're the same, and they think they're all saying the same things, but they just have different accounts. Like when they say she's from 6 different fucking countries, Marta is. Or the fact that Marta being at the funeral, every single adult, every single grown person who's, not in school or whatever says, I wish you could have been at the funeral. Yep. I wanted you to go. So if Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Johnson wanted you to go, and Walt wanted you to go, and Joni wanted you to go, who voted her out then?
Yeah, because Walt's like, I was outvoted.
I was outvoted.
You should be there.
Who? Harlan?
There was no vote.
No, there was no vote,
was
and
no
also
vote.
They didn't treat her like family. But that's a whole different subject. But yes, but they all were like, what if they're all saying the same thing? And then when they talk to the cops, they're all like, how was his birthday? Oh, it was great. Then when Jamie Lee Curtis, what's her name? Linda?
Yeah, I think so.
So when Linda and Don, I don't fucking know their names. I forget. But when Linda and Don recount their things, they show a flashback of, I was about to say Charles. They show a flashback.
Yeah.
I really was.
No, I'm doing
it. Penis is on the brain. Sorry. It's a no white thing.
Phallus? Phyllis, sorry.
Pam, get with Phallus.
Phallus? Penis is on the brain.
But yeah, when they show him about to blow out his candles, they show Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Johnson standing behind him. Then when Walt talks about it, they show Walt, his Nazi son, and fucking his rock, Ricky or whatever his fucking name is, standing behind him. And then Joni, I don't even think Joni ever talks about it. No. But it's like they're all saying the same thing, but they're wrong. And then they're all like, oh, she's not the help. But then they give her a plate. Oh, she's not the help, but you're not really family, but you are. We're going to take care of you because you did help. It's just the family. But again, I think they play the character so well.
Yes.
And they made you hate every single one of them.
Yes. I'm going to join in with you with that one with my everyone is awful.
Facts.
All of this family are just reprehensible human beings.
Yes.
Fucking Linda and Don Johnson have their own shit to work out.
Well,
Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Johnson have their own shit to work out because he's cheating on his wife.
Facts.
She doesn't know it. She's just a bitch to everybody to begin with.
I'll stop you right there.
Go ahead.
He goes, "You and your husband own this company."
Yeah.
She goes, "Whoa.
No, my company. I own the company.
I worked hard for this."
Yeah.
And then same thing I talk about with a former president. It's like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. She's like, I started this on my own. I started from the ground up. And then they talk to Walt. Ransom.
Benoit goes, as a self-made man myself.
Yeah. And then he says that.
I'm sure you can appreciate that. And they cut to Walt. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I'm a dad. We do everything. He's like, you didn't do shit.
Right.
And Charles, I almost fucking said it. God damn it. Christopher Plummer is like, these are my stories. Like, these are my books, Walt.
Right.
You take care of them, but these are my books.
And I want to free you of it.
Yes. I've
said best
freeing you. I set you free of it. Dad, are you firing me?
The best part was Ransom. When he goes, oh, my self-starter mother? The one who got $1 million loan from daddy?
Yep.
I was like, hello, former president. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, huh?
Yeah, because everyone was like,
people.
Everyone was really rich and well-to-do with someone else's money or because of someone else.
Facts. Agree.
Yeah, everyone else was essentially spending other people's money, even though, Linda earned her money through her business. She didn't have that business until she got the loan from her father.
Facts.
Walt was running the publishing company, but he didn't contribute anything.
Yeah.
And he had, he was pushing Harlan to do, TV series, movie adaptations, anything.
Yeah.
And Harlan's like, no, I don't want to do that. And Walt's like, well, these are our stories. It's like, no, they're not our stories. They're my stories. Quit trying to steal my shit, son. In fact, you know what? I free you of it. I set you free of it.
Set you free? Are you firing me? We'll talk over details tomorrow.
My mind's made up. That was his way of being like, fuck you, and I'm out.
I loved it. I was like, this is great.
But like, he was trying to ride his dad's coattails on the publishing thing. Joni was living an influencer lifestyle on stolen money. He was nice enough to pay her daughter's tuition for years. Was it $100,000 a year? And she felt the need to like double cash his checks. Well, or like she was dipping in it to the tune of $100,000 a year was what she was stealing from him at least.
Yeah, so he was given $100,000 a year for 4 years, which is an absurd amount. What kind of school is she going to? First off, because she didn't really seem that smart.
Going to weed school.
Same. And but the funny thing is, she did say, she was like, he pays for my schools with an S, and I was like, schools?
Yeah, like multiple.
How many schools are you fucking going to?
Like, I wonder if that meant like from high school into college, or if it was just college.
I think it was just college
because everyone
he said 4 years.
Because everyone kept saying like, how many, like what degree? Because I think Ransom was like, how's that SJW degree coming?
Hilarious.
And was it Linda? Linda was like her like poetry, neo crypto.
Hilarious.
Social justice degree. Up. Yeah, I was laughing, but I hated her at the same time.
Yeah.
But I also loved it.
Yeah, so he was Harlan was writing checks to the school, and the assistant was sending school checks to her. Mm-hmm. So that's how she was getting both, and that's like you said, stolen money.
Yeah,
he was. So to me, I added that up. It's $800,000. First off, how rich is this man?
Very.
Because goddamn,
you see that house?
I saw it.
Did you see that death trap of a house?
Same.
He's 85 years old. There was a million stairs in there.
There really were. Like,
that was there was not a chairlift in sight. That was a fall hazard to the max.
Facts. No life alert bracelet to be found.
And he lived in the fucking attic.
He really did.
He lived in the tip top of that fucking place. Come on.
Oh, God.
And like you said, no life alerts. Clearly. Because he would have hit it otherwise.
Funny.
You're like, what's the alert? I'm dying.
Funny.
I've taken 100 milligrams of morphine. Oops.
Hilarious.
Yeah, everyone in this movie, so many of these characters are pieces of shit.
Facts.
Except for...
It was just a family.
Yeah, and like even Harlan admitted that he wasn't perfect. He's like, I could have been a better father. I could have encouraged people. He's like, I could have encouraged Walt to write his own stories instead of like confining him to handling mine. I could have had people like tried to implore them to go pursue their own dreams instead of living off my own money. And he's like, maybe
he could have been nicer to Linda and Ransom.
He's like, I could have been nicer to Linda and Ransom, and maybe I did all this as a way to keep people beneath me, but I'm gonna start fixing it. I'm gonna cut everybody loose.
Ah, well.
And it cost him. Wonder how it worked out for him.
We'll never know.
I mean, also, he said be after 4.
Hilarious.
The carved elephant. Hilarious.
He was so funny,
Is it before the carved elephant? After the carved elephant. Be after 4, the carved elephant. Hilarious. And he knew, basically knew the steps to evade murder charges.
Yeah.
He was telling Marta, he told Marta how to do it right before he killed himself. And it damn near worked if other people hadn't been playing their own games.
Well, he said the basic cops.
Yeah.
So.
It does not account for just a simple Southern detective, Mr. Benoit Blanc.
Hilarious.
Did not account for him. And how could you?
Facts.
He's one of a kind, that man. Hopefully.
Agreed.
Yes.
So that was your
I forget.
It's my turn, I think.
Yes.
Because you said the family was awful. All right, my next Wagner fanboy.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah.
He was so giddy every fucking time. And I loved it. And then he was giddy about that. He was giddy about something else that didn't even have anything to do with the Thrombes. I forgot what they were talking about. They were talking about some show or movie. Oh, the movie on Lifetime that Fran was talking about. Yep. Hilarious. He's like, oh, the blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, that's good. And I loved every minute of it. And he was so enthralled, and I was just like, this guy's hilarious. And he's so genuine and on it. It was funny.
He was all of us watching it. Like, him and Elliot were, like, Elliot was, like, the serious one. It was like, oh, shit, like the real reactions to, like, the crazy shit happening. And Wagner was like the,
right, exactly.
Oh my god! Like he was that guy, and I loved it. At the end, when he got excited, he's like, "She threw up. That means she's lying."
I know. Like he was like,
and we were all like, "Yeah."
Or when after they read the will, Jimmy Carter's like, "Get the fuck out of our house," and he starts walking away, and like he was like, "Don't." We're cops. Like it's okay, buddy. Like we're cops. You don't have to do that. So yeah, Wagner fanboy. I mean, I guess I could throw them in together, the both detectives, because I put Lakeith out there. I just thought he was just so funny. He's always been good in every movie I've ever seen him in, and he's so funny to me. And I love him. I think he's great. I think he's a great actor. So yeah, those two.
He was definitely great in this.
Yeah, he was just so good. So yeah, those are my likes.
My next like is The Mansion.
Yeah, you did say that.
We both said it's ridiculous. We would never live there.
No, facts.
You are asking to be killed living in that house. It has a fucking secret door, window, wall thing on like the second, third story of the house.
I think the third story.
Why? Why would you need that?
Why not?
Again, and what's his name? Trooper Wagner also was like, that's the hidden window door from whatever story it was from.
Yeah.
And I was like, how would you not think about that?
Facts.
You as soon as someone pointed out, you're like, oh, that's what it is.
Well, if you think it's a suicide, you're gonna just go with suicide. You don't need to think about wherever people are coming from.
But yeah, like it was that mansion was full of weird and creepy things. His study was incredible. It was just like tiny little room, books everywhere, sweet looking desk, little like sofa thing. Cool. Every other room in the house had like a creepy like fisherman statue. That wheel of knives thing was awesome.
That was good.
The like giant eyeballs behind his desk. Every room had just like weird shit in it. And that's just like, you're just asking to get murdered.
Agreed.
Also, that was not a safe home for an 85-year-old man to be living in. And possibly his mother also.
I think that's a perfect home for an 85-year-old to be living in. I honestly do.
Not living on the top floor.
With the stairs, okay, I get you.
He should be living right inside of the front door of that house. Right inside.
I agree. I agree with that statement. But also, that's how old people do, though.
Yeah.
Old people are like, no, I still got it. What the fuck was I watching yesterday? Fuck. I think it was Modern Family. He was like, when we get older, we can get that sweet chair that goes up the stairs. And I was like, yes.
Phil.
Yes. I was like,
Phil's the best.
So, like, yeah, that's
But his dad drives around in an RV.
Same in that movie, in that show, yeah. I agree.
But also, Al Bundy has a fucking mansion, so who's to say?
There it is.
Who's to say? With baby gates that he can't operate, so he like rips them off the fucking rails.
They are difficult. Listen, baby-proof stuff isn't really baby-proof. It's adult-proof.
Yeah.
And babies can get in it.
Everyone else is doing it but him.
Listen, I fucking hate baby-proof stuff because it's like, okay, it makes me feel like an idiot because I'm like, okay. Well, you're not having this for dinner, son. Sorry. Unless you can open it, I'm not.
All the food is in this cabinet, and I can't get it open.
We never did that.
So
we never did the cabinet.
It's called Pizza Hut.
We had the gates, which was cool. We kept one, like, depending on where we kept one, like, on the kitchen, and then we kept one, like, in the hallway just so he wouldn't go back there. Like, so kitchen, hallway, there's only one way to get into the hall because we lived on one floor. It was an apartment. So it was like, it blocked off the kitchen, blocked out the hallway. Boom, he can only go to the living room. So it was like, okay, cool. And then, like, if we were, like, in the bedroom or he was in his room, lock all the doors and then block the hallway so he can only go from his room to the hallway and he can't get any of the doors. Just, whatever. Or block his room so I didn't have to deal with them. But either way, back to this. Yeah, the mansion. You liked it.
I did like it. I mean, it's like out in the middle of nowhere, which for one, I would never want to live out in the middle of nowhere.
No?
Because no one, it's like space. No one can hear you scream.
Right. Some people want to go to space.
Some people who have too much on their hands to know what to do with, to help anyone on the fucking planet that they live on that's on fire. Let's go to another one. Let's just see if we can go. Let's just see if we can escape this one, however briefly.
Fact.
And then land back on it. And then make even more money by selling our fucking ideas to NASA. But no, the mansion in the middle of nowhere, for one, that's a deal breaker, ladies. I don't want to live. Because he's like, what, 15 minutes for an ambulance to show up?
At least.
At least? Come on. That's trouble. I mean, not that I think about where I'm going to live based on the, that's what I'm thinking, proximity to, like, ambulance availability. But when, like, someone says it like that, I'm like, yeah, that's why, why wouldn't that be the case?
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's out in the middle of nowhere, which, you know, if you want your privacy, that's a good place to live. I have my privacy just fine with, like, black curtains and closing my blinds and shit.
Same.
Also, I live in an apartment, not a mansion. But, like, big houses like that, it's just asking for a phone call to come from inside the house. And then someone shows up and murders you, who's been in the next room all along. But you didn't know it because there's like 8 fucking rooms on that floor that you've never been in.
Facts.
It's like the Purge. I just watched the first, not the first Purge, the movie, but like the first movie that they made in the Purge franchise, because it's called The Purge. Like, those people live in that fucking mansion house.
Wait, what?
The first movie in the Purge franchise. Because there's a movie called The First Purge. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh.
But like the first movie, just called The Purge.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Those people lived in that fucking mansion, and they were just running around and not running into each other. Mm-hmm. Like, your house is too fucking big. There could be any number of people in there at any given time.
Facts.
All the previous owners of that house could still be in there somewhere, waiting to murder you.
Facts.
And you'd never know it until you already did.
Facts.
It's spooky. Giant mansions like that are spooky.
I agree.
If it's not haunted, it will be by your ghost, because you're going to get killed in it.
That's fair.
And I don't want that. I liked it for movie and entertainment purposes, but for real life, it's ostentatious. That is. It's not for me. But I liked it. But that's me.
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't. My next leg?
Yes.
Language. That's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. Language. Chris Evans, he's just a gem. I'll put it. He's like my next, like, right after language, so it's like I'll put them together. I don't know. It's just funny because every time I hear him cuss, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finally.
Cat.
Finally.
Thank you. Tell him. CAPT America.
It's that kind of language that would have kept him from wielding Mjolnir, I think.
Damn right. He ain't doing it on this one. No, I loved it. I thought Chris Evans was just a fucking gem.
He killed it.
And he was so smudge and arrogant, and I loved every single minute of it.
Eating his cookies.
He just...
Did Harlan leave you a glass of cold milk in his will? Asshole! So, oh my God.
Eat shit.
Eat shit.
Eat shit.
Eat up your ass,
Eat
Joni.
Shit. Definitely eat shit.
Up my ass?
Like, and that was a great thing about it. Everybody's cussing up a storm. Everybody's cussing up a storm. But then when they get cussed out, they're like,
you don't say that in front of my son.
I know, I hate people like that.
My son. Fuck you, fuck you, Ransom.
Right.
You can't say that. You can't say shit in front of my kid. Fuck you.
Every time.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn. Hey, don't cuss in front of my motherfucking son, fucker. Like,
cuss in front of my goddamn wiener kids.
I love it. But Chris Evans, he killed it.
Yes,
he definitely killed it.
Agree.
And yeah,
Ransom was great because he was smug. He was smart. Mm-hmm. He was he knew how to get what he wanted. When he needed information out of Marta, he sat her down, made sure like he got to her when she was frazzled, like she was clearly distraught. He's like, let's get something to eat. Let's calm down.
Yep. Now
tell me everything you know, because if you lie, you're going to puke up everything you just ate.
Facts.
Genius.
Agreed.
Genius. He, Harlan told him that Marta was the only person who could beat him at Go more than Ransom. And he's like, felt like that always meant something.
Hilarious.
And at the end, I'm like, yeah, surprise, bitch. You got outplayed. Again.
Same.
Again.
Same.
Because when she flips the script on him at the end, and he's like, fuck it. And grabs a
In
knife.
for a penny.
In for a penny, covered in vomit. Grabs that knife that turns out to be fake.
Beans and sausage.
And it is so good because he fucking says it. He says it at the beginning, near the beginning of the movie. He's like, he's lived such a sheltered, pampered life. Couldn't tell the difference between, even though it kind of makes no sense for him to say it, he's like, he couldn't tell the difference between a real knife and a prop knife.
Well,
as he pulls
he was talking about that, but he wasn't talking about him being pampered. He was talking about him being his helper. He was talking about because Chris Evans helped him with some of like the background for the
that's right, yeah,
for the novels he was writing. So that's the reason why he knew about the medical examiner and all this other stuff, that whatever. But he was like, but he still can't tell the difference between a prop knife and a real knife. Yeah. And I was like, ooh.
As Christopher Plummer pulls out a real knife to kill himself.
Well, he stabs it into the desk as they're playing Go.
And then he kills himself with it. And then Chris Evans like, fuck it. Grabs what he thinks out of the giant wall of knives. Grabs that spring-loaded fucking fake knife. Shit.
I was like, language. Captain, you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Take him away, boys. He was incredible.
Yeah,
he really was. When he was, like you said, smudgely sitting eating those cookies, and everyone just laying into him. And then
when that will is read,
they read the will, and he was just laughing it up, playing with the chessboard, just like.
Because what was funny, it reminds me of that one GIF of him when he like grabbed, like he's laughing in the red shirt. And and I'm like, that's the way he laughs. I was like, that's the way he laughs. It was a genuine laugh.
He's so good. I'm not going to tell you we've seen every movie with him in it. I've seen every Marvel movie with him in it. That includes the first two Fantastic Four movies.
I've seen most of his movies except for he came out a movie a year or two ago about him being like an adopted, not him, he wasn't adopted, he was adopting his niece or nephew, and he had to fight to get him back or something
physically.
No.
So he had to fight somebody to get his kids.
No, it was like his niece, and I think his like niece was like super smart too, so like he had to take her to like different, like whatever, and he didn't really want the girl because he didn't have any kids, and then I don't know, it was something like that, and I was like, I'm not watching that. It's like, I'm good. Love you, Chris, but sorry.
Everything I've seen him in, I thought he was great.
Facts.
Human Torch, great. Casey Jones, great. Captain America, great. Baby Eater, great. Ransom, great.
Facts.
He's good. I like him. What?
Don't forget Lucas Lee.
Oh, fuck. I knew I was leaving something out. He's going for the Oscar this year.
What are you talking about, Chris? It's the biggest Wonka fan I know. Chris never seen the movie. No.
Never saw it. I didn't eat candy when I was a kid. Why would I watch a movie that fetishized it in such a manner?
Facts. But yeah, so that was my like.
Yeah.
So
he's incredible, and the CSI, I already said it. CSI KFC, hilarious.
That was good.
Hilarious.
It was a good joke.
It was very good. And him and Marta go on the world's dumbest car chase.
Hilarious. That had to be the dumbest car chase I've ever been in.
Fucking torched the Tox lab.
Mm-hmm.
He did kill Fran.
He definitely killed Fran.
He killed Fran with the morphine. He tried to have Marta kill Harlan with the morphine, even though Marta did the right thing the whole time because she is a good nurse.
You know what it reminded me of? Captain America. He goes, the fuck did they say? He's like, oh, it doesn't matter how strong you are or whatever. He's like, are you a good man? Because the reason why I thought about that is because somebody I watch who reviews movies as well was like, that's the reason why he chose Falcon instead of Bucky. Because everybody thought he was going to choose Bucky for the Captain America shield. And they like shows and he says it in the end game. He's like, "You're a good man, Sam." He says it all the time. He said, "It doesn't matter how strong you are, because obviously, what's the name stronger? Bucky's stronger with that arm." But he's like, "You're a good man," and that's what Stanley Tucci says to him in the first Captain America. He's like, "You're a good man," and I was like, "Yeah." And
that's why Tony was wrong when he told him everything special about him came out of a bottle.
Facts. I'll just cut the wire. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Same.
Everything special about you came out of a bottle. Fuck you, Tony. You're wrong. I jumped out a goddamn grenade when I was like this big around.
It's a fake grenade.
He didn't know it. Tommy Lee Jones knew it.
Tony didn't know about it.
Tony didn't know that it happened. He already hated him because his dad loved him.
Well, that's fair though. Listen, I don't have dad issues.
I like to think that I don't. I think my dad's an ass.
Right.
I think he's funny for that reason.
That's fair.
I don't have problems like, he didn't love me enough.
Right. That was Tony's issue.
Yeah.
You didn't love me enough, but he was talking about Captain America. I'd hate Captain America too.
Probably.
Fuck you, Captain America.
But also, if I had $1 billion, I'd probably figure out a different way to deal with my issues than build a fucking holographic projection of my parents to ignore me.
I mean, that was his therapy.
I don't think it worked.
Well, no, but I hear you. Listen, I
would have spent my time trying to perfect time travel so I can go back and meet my fucking father and make peace with him without him knowing it's me.
And he did.
The easy way.
The
most obvious route.
The lethal weapon way. Easy. I love it.
Do it like they did in Lethal Weapon. Do it in a way that won't be lame.
Facts. Let's see. Is it my turn?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Blanc laughs at the house being Chris Evans' ancestral home. That was a hearty laugh, and I die every single time. He's like, "You think you could do this to us? We're the Thrombies. This is our ancestral home." Ha 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 ha. He's like, "Thromby brought this in the '80s."
From a Pakistani, what is it, like business mogul or something?
I was like, Classic. You idiot. And I was like, man, how many people think that in real life? Oh, we've done it like this forever. Have you? Because I bet you your family stole it.
Well, like just because it's as long as you've been here doesn't mean it's been as long as they've been here.
Facts. But that's my like.
They taught you everything you know. They didn't teach you everything they know. My next couple likes are pretty quick.
Same.
Michael Shannon killed it.
Facts.
Don Johnson was great. And Joni was also good, all for the same reason. They were all tremendous pieces of shit.
Facts.
And the movie made no bones about it. They're like, these guys are all terrible, and here's why.
And the funny thing is like, when they were talking about the political stuff, it was like, no matter what side you on, they're both terrible.
Because they were both extreme sides.
Yeah.
They were both very extreme. Well,
somewhat
extreme sides, because her whole argument was like, they're Nazis walking down the street, they're putting children in cages, they're camps, these are camps.
So what he said, he's like, we know that, yeah, of course that's bad, but
we know that's bad. And this piece of shit son, oh my god, masturbating to dead deer pictures on the internet. The boy was masturbating in the bathroom.
The little Nazi boy.
Hilarious.
The little Nazi boy masturbating in the
bathroom. But yeah, like Michael Shannon was good.
Yeah.
He was just like I don't know. He had like little man syndrome going on, I guess. Just like he had this constant need to be like, oh, of course I'm in charge. I can handle this. Anything that came up, he's like, I can handle this.
I think it was his disability.
Maybe.
I don't know what his disability was.
I don't even know if he had a disability because they one of the few times they pulled back, he had a boot on his foot. So but he did also have a cane. Yeah. But he had like the big boot.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he had like the big blue like astronaut boot when they chased her out to her car, when they chased Marta out to her car. Other than that, you didn't really get to see a bunch of full body shots of a lot of the family. But
okay, yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he had a boot on. But aside from that, they mostly focused on the cane.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when him and Don Johnson were getting into it, he's like, I can handle this. I can take care of this shit. And they just get into a slap fight as everyone just screams at them to stop.
Same.
Hilarious.
Agreed.
Because none of these people have ever had to do shit. Not that I've ever had to, but none of these people have ever had to do shit for themselves in their whole life.
Fair.
And as soon as they're like, let me handle it, it just turns into a screaming match and a literal like slap fight between adult children. And Joni's a turd because their influencer lifestyle, meditating, she's just full of shit. Doing the whole like Gwyneth Paltrow, what was the name of her thing?
She had a skincare line.
Yeah, because Gwyneth Paltrow is what? Goop? I think
know.
It's called, and I forget what hers was called in this movie. But I mean, it was like, oh, this is probably what it's supposed to be.
Hilarious.
But like, it was very funny. Joni was a turd who was stealing his money. Don Johnson was an ass who was cheating on his wife. Piece of shit. And got found out at the end, which is great. Because partway through the movie, they're like, oh, he looks like he's in the clear. Because Harlan's like, I got a letter I'm going to give to her. If you don't tell her, I will. Doesn't show him the letter. But as soon as he finds out the motherfucker's dead, goes into his desk. Jimmy's the lock open, opens it up. Blank piece of paper. He's like, well, now you're dead. Score one for me.
Fair.
And just puts it right back where he found it. Well, at the end of the movie, it ends up in Linda's hands anyway.
Yep.
And like you said, and I didn't put it together, at the very beginning of the movie, she's like, Dad and I had our own special way of communicating. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking invisible ink. And she immediately takes that lighter, that paper.
Yep.
Like she knew to do it.
She
She
knew.
sees it. And the next time you see Don Johnson, he's got a fucking black eye.
Loved it.
Great.
Loved it. So, that's another like for me, the black eye. Because it's understated. You don't really see it if you don't looking for it.
Yeah.
But when you look, because he has his tail between his legs, he turns around, he has a little black eye, he looks up at her, and then he looks back down. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's what you get, you idiot. But then I was thinking, this is what I was thinking today. What if she didn't do that? What if Walt did it? Like, hey, Walt, go take him out. But also, I kind of feel like she would have done it.
I feel like she did it. She was in everybody's face this whole fucking movie.
The whole movie. Who the fuck do you think you are? Get out of our fucking house. Get out of our... Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't read that part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
also, Frank Oz was incredible.
Oh, yeah, Frank Oz was great. But yeah, that was my... I got one more like after that. Okay. So I'll let you go.
I guess my last like is for Marta. The last shot of the movie. For one, she was great throughout the whole movie. Mm-hmm. Like one of the few people with like a fucking moral compass who's not trying to just get ahead by stepping on people's throats. The end shot, she's standing up on the balcony, everyone's just looking up at her. She's drinking out of that mug that says "My House." It was like "My House, My Rules, My Coffee" or something. Yep. And I was like, it is now, baby.
And that was my last like as well.
Oh, there we go.
Same. I wrote coffee cup, My House, My Rules.
Yep.
It was satisfying. It was satisfying.
Voila.
Voila.
Amazing.
It was so good. Here's the thing that another YouTube influencer said. He was like, look at the two different shots. The beginning of the movie when they first meet Marta, everybody's like, when they first get there, I think, people are standing on the porch and she's below. And then at the end of the movie, she's on top of the house because it's hers. And they're guests.
They're like now they're out on the lawn.
I was like, man, whoever be making movies is be good.
Oh, we know who made this movie.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
He did damn good on this.
I watched a movie review for The Last Jedi like 3 days ago, and I was like, this is a good movie, guys. Yeah, it kind of fucked up some shit, but it was still a good movie. It kind of, whatever. It fucked up a lot of shit, but it was still a good movie.
For some people.
For me, too. I mean, not really for me.
It didn't fuck up much for me, to be
because
honest.
I can accept the ninth one. It's the people who can't accept the ninth one. This is, I don't know if I told you this. I might have told you this before, but if you don't like the eighth one, you like the ninth one. If you don't like the ninth one, you like the eighth one. And 7 is just whatever. No one cares about it. No, facts. I agree. I'm just saying between the two, the divide. They're like, oh, they should just. Then any. I don't want to get on Star Wars because I still see shit about it because people are just dumb. Like they just should have never made them. Why? Do you not like Star Wars?
The last ones that they made, everyone hated. Everyone hated the fucking prequel trilogy.
Everyone hated the prequels.
Until they gave them a little time. Like, these are actually good. Yeah, no shit.
Same.
Give these ones a little time and people will probably come around on them too. Hopefully.
The only thing, I don't even know if I agree with it, but I get it. There's a Skywalker thing at the end with Rey. I'm not even mad about that, though. It's like, whatever. Be who you want to be. I don't care.
Honestly, yeah. Because her name wasn't important before that.
It wasn't.
So why should it be important just because she said it was Skywalker?
Right.
And I agree with you. That part didn't really matter to me.
It didn't. That's the thing. Like, people don't know how to just,
she had a sweet-ass new yellow lightsaber.
Same. That was built with her stick.
Yes.
But yeah. But either way, back to Knives Out. Yeah, that was my last like. Coffee cup, my house, my rules.
Same.
It was great. Marta, hero of the story.
Yeah.
She was a good woman. Mm-hmm. So, that's all I likes.
Yeah.
Let's get into the dislikes.
Okay.
Chris?
Do you want to do it at the same time?
Sure.
All right. 3, 2, 1. 0.
Facts.
Hey! No dislikes.
No, none at all.
No dislikes for me.
I love the entire movie.
Same.
Didn't fall asleep once.
Nope.
So, good times.
From the moment it touched my tongue until it was metabolized by my stomach acid, I love sweet, sugary Knives Out.
Hilarious. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what comes next.
Same.
So, simple and plain.
Yeah.
Well,
I
if
guess
that's the case,
brings us to
Slushie Meter.
You want to do it again?
You count the other way?
However you want to do it.
That's fine with me. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
5.
5. Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
So good.
There's... Name something wrong with this movie.
If I could come up with something to name you.
I almost put the family in dislikes, but I was like, no, they do a good job to make me dislike them.
If they're
That's
like,
why
I hate them because like I didn't like the character or I thought it wasn't believable, that'd be one thing, but like I did not like them because of who they were.
Yes.
And you can't be like, oh, they acted too good and made me not like them.
All right. Which I've done before. But still, I agree though. It was just a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
And from the first time I watched it until the last time I watched it until this time, and Chris, I was like, bro, you gotta watch it.
You put me on this movie. And I will put anyone else on this movie. I will go to bat for this movie.
I was so excited about this movie when I saw it. I was like, dude, because I love a good whodunit. Why
I didn't realize that I did too.
Why wouldn't you? It's the little like, okay, and you can try to solve whatever you want to solve. That's your own issue if you want to. How about you just go along for the ride? That's how I do movies in general. Just take me for a ride. I just told Chris, I saw F9 in theaters. They go to space.
What?
Yes. You didn't know this. They go to space.
How would I know?
And I was like, this is amazing.
In a car?
Yes, in a car. In a car.
Was the car like attached to a spaceship?
Yes.
Okay.
It was attached to a rocket.
That's a little less ridiculous, but it's still pretty fucking ridiculous.
They were wearing astronaut suits. They were wearing deep sea diving suits in the car, yes. And it was amazing. Yes, it was so good, and I loved every single minute of it.
Vin Diesel went to space.
There was no, it wasn't Vin Diesel. It was Ludacris and Tyrese.
That was going to be my next guess. Was Ludacris went to space because he's the only person I know is in these fucking movies.
Because the only two black people on the team they're going to send to space. Yeah, right. They'd have been like, no, we're out. Trust me. I know a few of those people.
We need someone to ride this Earth car.
Yes.
We're gonna like tape it to a ship, and we need people to be in it.
Yes.
Who wants to?
And there was a rocket on the back of it. So like it was the rocket. It was attached to the rocket that went into space, and then the car itself had like a rocket on the back. I don't want to call it a rocket. but it had like one of those like big oversized things. Fire comes out like a jet propulsion thing or something. I don't know what it's called.
So not like a Woody and Buzz with a rocket on their back situation.
No, not like that kind of thing, but like a it was built on it, and it
like an engine type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And fire was coming out the back of it.
Did the car have tires? Did the car have wheels?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I mean, to be fair, the way they made it, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, it made sense because, like, obviously everything was, like, taped off so that the, stuff would, not taped, but, like, everything was sealed up, I guess I should say, so that, obviously, the atmosphere couldn't get into the thing. And, of course, they had on, like, a whole entire suit. They couldn't move out of the car or anything like that. They never got out into space. But it was so good.
For what purpose did they go into space?
They had to disable a rocket not a rocket. They had to disable a satellite, and the satellite couldn't be disabled from the ground. So, yeah, so that was the only way to disable it. So they tried that. It didn't work. So then they were like, "We only have one way to get back to the to Earth, to get back into Earth's orbit, and or we can use that way to crash into the satellite and not get back to Earth." And he was like, "Well, we come this far," and so they used the jet propulsion and they ran into the fucking satellite and it blew up.
So Ludacris and
no, they're alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they end up getting. Yeah, same. But they end up getting. There was a space station, obviously not too far away, but yeah, it was great. I loved it, and people hate it, and I was like, "What do you want?" Here's my thing. You are correct. It is over the top. I agree with you 100%. It always has been. It always they don't deter from them all being superheroes. Funny thing is, Tyrese actually says it in the movie, in F9. He's like, he's in a hole at one point. And I think this is literally to the people who hate it. I literally think they put this in there for the people who hate it. He's in like a hole, and this army of like 30 soldiers are like on top of the hole. Like they're in the jungle somewhere. They're on top of the hole. They're shooting AK-47s down at him. He's shooting up at them. And he does not die. He doesn't even get hit with a bullet. Not a single one.
Did they all die?
Yep. And he was like, "How did I make it out?" He was like, "How did I make it out?" He was like, "There's no way." And I was like, this is for the people who fucking complain. I was like, that's what you get. And people complain about that. I've heard, because like I said, I listened to Birdman, and he complained. He was like, this is dumb. Why would they do that? Blah, blah, blah. You're saying it as if your audience is stupid. I don't think so. I think they're saying it to the people who complain about it.
They're saying it as if the audience is in on it.
Yeah. They're like, hey, this is over the top, and we're making a really ridiculous movie. Guess what? This is ridiculous.
Guess what? We're going to drive to space
next. He says it like 6 times in the movie. He goes, are we superheroes or what? And I'm like, I love this. Because you hate it, I love it. And I was like, I can only imagine people sitting here and like, this is dumb. And I'm like, yeah. And they're putting it in your face that they're going to make $1 billion too. What else are you going to do? And they're going to make another. They're going to make 2 more. They're done after F11. I love it.
Goodness gracious.
I love it because it's ridiculous. And that's what I was telling somebody about it. I was like, think about it like this. So a lot of people are like, this is supposed to be a racing movie. Again, your nostalgia and your whatever, it's killing you. And they're like, no, all they did was race in the first couple.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you say they stopped racing after like the first 3?
There's a race in every single movie, even in F9.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a race in every single movie.
Oh.
But there's always only one. There's only ever been one.
Like how there's always a tournament in a Mortal Kombat movie.
Same. Literally, that's what I said. I was like, in the first one, to be fair, they had 3 races in there. But the movie wasn't about racing. It was about them stealing from semi-trucks, which is the reason why they were going in and out of semi-trucks. That's what the whole movie was about. That's the reason why Paul Walker was an undercover cop, because he had to stop. He was trying to stop them from doing that. Mm-hmm. That's what the first one was about. The second one, they were working for, it was him and Paul Walker and Tyrese. They were working for a cartel, and they had to transport either drugs or money with Eva Mendes, who was an undercover agent. That's it. They race once in that movie. Mm-hmm. The third one was Tokyo Drift. They raced twice in that movie, but to be fair, it was basically about the American dude going to Japan and trying to do everything. But the main antagonist was, this Japanese guy who was the nephew of a mob boss, and it literally ended with the dude from America asking the mob boss, like, "Hey, instead of killing me, let me race your nephew." Like, that was the second race of the movie. I'm like, okay. So that was 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 had like 1 or 2 races in them. This one had like 1 or 2 races in it. It's always about something else. And I was like, what do you guys want? No, I remember having more races in that. Just like I had an argument about Mortal Kombat. I was like, there was no tournament in either all 3 Mortal Kombats. There's no tournament. I remember a tournament. When was the last time you watched it? Because I watched it 2 weeks ago. I remember it being more of a tournament. Do you?
They can claim it's a tournament.
And I said the same thing that me and you talked about.
In the first one, you can claim it's a tournament. A couple fights in a ring doesn't make it a tournament.
I was like, Sonya Blade won her match. Who did she fight after? Nobody. Johnny Cage won all his matches. Who did he fight after?
Nobody.
So
Liu Kang fought like 3 dudes.
Yep. Johnny Cage fought 2.
Yeah. And they never had to fight each other.
So are they all champions? Because I thought there was only could be 1 champion.
Everybody wins.
So I was like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Sonya Blade has 1 fight. She wins her tournament. Maybe they're all in their own tournaments and we didn't know that.
And that's fine, but guess what? Sonya Blade only had 1 fight.
Exactly. It was a 1 round, single elimination tournament. 2 top seeds.
Yes. So, yeah. And then Annihilation, let's not even get on that.
There was no
The tournament was annihilated.
There was no story.
Same. And then this one, they even said it, just like in the first one. They were like, this is pre-tournament.
Yeah.
We don't want them to get to the tournament because they're going to win.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
So if anything, maybe there'll be a tournament in the next one.
Exactly.
Maybe. If they decide to do it, they do. If they don't, they don't.
But can I get some more fatalities? Because that's all I'm here for.
Yes, please. Yeah, all I'm here for is gratuitous violence.
Like, I like how people are like, oh, well, the games. Okay, think about the games. Did you really play the tournament a lot? Or did you just play against, like, your buddy or whoever? Try to get better at the game. Doing that whole little ladder tournament, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay. The only time you did it is because you can get a new character. But then, in 64 at least, on the one I had, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, you can just press a couple buttons and unlock them. You gotta go through all that bullshit. Because after like the 4th one, you got to fight like 3 people, and I'm like, no, because like you beat one and then they come out like on the other games now, but you didn't have another person behind you, so you had to beat 3 people. That like once you, and then the funny thing is, if you killed, let's say there's 3 people, right? You, Liu Kang, and Sonya Blade, and whoever else. Once they die, it's like, okay, Sonya Blade's dead. The other guy comes out and kicks you no matter what. Like you always get kicked. You can't block it. Like, he comes from the screen, boom, you're kicked. Guess what? Every single time this happened, only had a little bit of life left. Died every time. Fuck that game. Like, don't, and I love that game, but I didn't play that shit. So, suck a dick. Eat shit. Either way.
Definitely eat shit.
Okay, let's get out of here. It's like 2 hours long.
Hey.
Getting back to the old times. Barely talked about Knives Out.
Get those numbers up.
Facts. Either way, that was Knives Out. 5s all around. No dislikes all around. Great movie. Go see it. Go rent it. Buy it. It's on Amazon Prime. Just watch it.
Yeah.
Everybody has Prime.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Order it off Prime. Whatever. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here though. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter and YouTube. And wherever podcasts are sold. Please rewind your tapes. Anything else?
That's it for me.
I think that's been enough for me too. All right, this has been Keith.
And Chris.
And we're out.